today we're announcing one-tap sign-in in every browser. So this is a new library from Google, based on the Credential Management API. So let's take a look at how this works. Here you can see it with Zillow, and this could be any browser, even those that don't support the Credential Management API, and I've never signed into Zillow previously on this device. But I can, when I'm on the login screen, I'm shown this dialog at the bottom, I can tap a single button, and now I'm signed back in with my existing account. This is really easy to use. You just call await smartlock.retrieve, and you pass in what supported authentication methods you have, and it just returns a credential for the user when the user taps the button, which you can then send up to the server to start the session. Now, this works really great for keeping users signed in, but if they're just on your site viewing a product or browsing flight options, there's a good chance they've never actually signed up for your service in the first place. And so if they swap to another device to continue that session, but they've never signed up, you can't actually continue that session over. That's why today we're also announcing one-tap sign-up for the web. So as the name suggests, this means that you can get users signed up in just a single tap. So here you can see that I'm using Hipmunk, and that I'm being prompted to sign up with an account in line. I simply tap continue, there's no jump to an account creation page, I accept Hipmunk's terms and conditions, and I'm signed up. And now I'll be kept logged in across all of my devices with or without the Credential Management API. So we believe that this will have great impact for many developers, and the early numbers that we've seen indicate that it can increase the signups for sites by 2 to 3x. This is really, really easy to use. All you do is you call await smartlock.hint, and again, you pass in some options. It gives you back a credential as soon as the user has tapped, and you can send that to the server. You can present them with the terms and conditions, whatever you want to do from there. So that's one-tap sign-up and sign-in, a new library from Google, and you can find it at developers.google.com/identity today. So now I want to talk about media on the web. So with the Media Sessions API, you can now integrate your media on the web with the user's operating system and devices. And so here you can see that because I was playing some media content in the browser, I get this rich notification to control the playback on my Android device, and it comes across to my Android Wear device. Super simple to use. You just call navigator.mediasession.metadata, and you set the metadata that the user should be seeing. And via this API, it's even possible to make the media be controllable, for example, from the Google Assistant on different devices to where it's playing, which is really great. Now, the media story on the web continues to get better and better thanks to new features like media sessions and offline video playback. Now, there's so much to cover in this space that we have a whole dedicated talk to this later today, so go and check that out for more. So now to bring it back to where I started on this journey, I'm excited to say that I did the analysis a couple nights ago, and I found that I can actually build the whole original web app that I wanted to build entirely with the web in JavaScript with web standards cross-platform, which is just really amazing. Okay, and so since they did give me the stage to talk to you today, I would be remiss to not tell you about one more thing. So we've been talking a lot about mobile in the last year or two on Chrome, but today I want to give you a sneak peek of how we're starting to look at desktop. So here you can see at the bottom of the screen a YouTube icon in my shelf, showing up just like an app. And when I launch that, you can see it running in an experimental version of Chrome that can run any PWA just like a native desktop app. Now, this isn't yet ready for prime time, but we're really excited to explore more with what we can do with it in 2018. And to close, I think that given that even Apple recently announced that service worker support is soon coming to Safari, we're truly living in a time where progressive web apps can provide an immersive and integrated experience on all platforms and operating systems. Thank you.
I must say, I'm like jealous of your pocket.
Oh,
Somebody tweeted, like, where's Monica's hand?
Yeah, somebody was worried I had lost my wrist. Skirts with pockets, everyone, they exist. That's right. So the next bit we have for you is a bit about what we're excited about from the web. So if we can switch to the slides. Sweet. So this is a new thing, and it has just landed in stable, so in Chrome 62, and it works on Safari, I think, as well. And that is variable fonts. And variable fonts are really exciting because this thing that you see on the screen isn't a weird animation that I'm doing where I'm transforming things between like 7 different images. It's actually just one font. And this font has a bunch of properties, and I can just animate those properties. Also, as a side note, remember how I promised you rainbow text? This is the rainbow text. So this has class emoji rainbow. But the reason why this idea of variable fonts is exciting is because if you think about how you would normally download fonts, if you wanted Roboto condensed and Roboto normal and Roboto at like weight 100 and 300 and 500, that's like 5 different files you have to download. But with variable fonts, you just have the one file that can interpolate between all of these weights that you can do. So you can have like weight 170. You can interpolate sizes. Or in this case, you can just add decorations to fonts. And the way we do this is with something called font variation settings. So this is part of the CSS spec, and it's coming to browsers because it's very exciting. And this particular font has like cryptically named variation settings. You just find them out from just looking at the documentation of a font. This is a font called Decovar. It's made, I think, by a designer for Google, so it's nice. And these are like the BLDA, I think, stands for like terminals or like ending terminals or stuff like that, or like the skeleton is SKLB. The reason why they're kind of exciting to me is that you can now do really weird icon animations, because imagine if you have an icon font that, for example, takes emoji and converts it to like an animal.
Now that I remember, I actually took a class on how to make a font.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted to make my own emoji.
Nice.
And then in that class, I did exactly the same thing you described. Like I make a one vector graphics and try to have like a thin to fat font. They call it fat font. And then the way I do it is like a whole bunch of Python script to generate it and then pick one. But it's kind of awesome that I can do it within the browser. And
yeah.
don't even have to go through the process. Yeah.
No. This is just what the font looks like. I don't know how you encrypt the magic into the font. That's a whole different conversation. But once you have the font, you can do awesome things. Like this lizard demo over here. We have one lizard, and it has like, its properties are like these 2 motion toggles, where basically like it can move the legs and the head in a different direction. And all I'm doing here is I have like 15 emoji of a lizard on the screen.
I mean,
just animate them.
15 glyph of like of actual font, right? Like we can't really do this, but if you like drag that mouse over, then it just shows up as a text.
Yeah,
this is not like a canvas animation or anything. Yeah.
I try to actually turn this off so I could switch it to just the lizard emoji, but it crashes the Chrome tab because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So let's not do that one. But if you look at the animation, which I didn't write, it's just a transform, and it basically like animates between one of the properties to the other properties. So that's a variable font, and we kind of really like it.
Yeah. One thing I would add, though, is that like the Polymer team have a PM who actually have a lizard as her pet.
Wendy, the Polymer PM, has a lizard called Julian. So if you're watching, hi, Julian.
Hi, Julian.
Hope you like your friends.
Hi, Wendy.
Cool.
All right. I think we're ready for next speakers. Next speaker, Eva, flew in from Zurich. She speaks 4.5 languages.
Yeah.
One of which is JavaScript.
Yeah.
She has a lot of first-hand experience migrating existing site and apps into PWA, Progressive Web App. So she's here today to talk about how and what kind of tool and what kind of process that you need to migrate. So please welcome Eva to the stage.
Hello, everyone. It's almost lunchtime. I hope you enjoy your day so far. Is it good? Woo! Okay, so you've heard a lot today about progressive web apps, about the benefits they're using, and probably a lot of you already tried